So here we go. We are advancing towards our destination, and the destination is Rupban Mura. Yes, Rupban Mura. Last time we were in Itakula Mura, but this time we'll be in, our destination will be Rupban Mura. So we are advancing towards our destination. Meanwhile, we are having 3 people in the car. One beside me is Rutiful, and the one next behind him is Kokon. So 3 of us are moving towards our destination. Here we go. On my left is Kokon, my cousin. On my right is my friend Lutiful. We are here on an expedition, Rupban Mura. So we'll be approaching Rupban Mura now. But meanwhile, let me tell you about the Rupban Mura just a little bit. The archaeological remains on the ridges of Lalmai Mainamoti was first discovered in 1928 by Bhattacharya. When the monastery was discovered here in the site by the workers while constructing a road through the hills, no importance was given because, they couldn't find any charm or anything. But anyway, they found the other side called Shalban Bihar, just a quarter kilometer away from here. The cultural remains were rediscovered during the Second World War, though. The structures they found, as far as the bricks were concerned, were found wanton. Military constructors, as well as the British soldiers, were picking up bricks and also digging for maybe gold or maybe something, and then villagers picking up bricks only because they wanted to make their own houses. But anyway, Archaeological Survey of India found it during 1930 and 40s, carried out survey here during the Pakistan time also in 1956-58. They carried out excavation program.
হ্যাঁ কথা শুনি কতদিন থেকে আছেন কাজে?
আমি আছি 3 বছর।
3 বছর। কেমন লাগে কাজ?
লাগে, ভালো লাগে, খারাপ না।
ভালো লাগে। আর এখানে মানুষজন যে আসে ভালো?
হ্যাঁ আসে, মোটামুটি আসে আর কি।
আচ্ছা, গুরু আপনার নাম কি?
আরিফুল ইসলাম।
আরিফুল ইসলাম, okay.
So there you go, we got the tickets. Now we are getting in. Meanwhile, you can see the plans of the temple on the left and monastery on the right. Cruciform temple. Anyway, the sites were identified by many archaeologists, beginning with Bhattacharya in 1928, but subsequently they were found wrong, as later no one could really identify or establish the names such as Rohitgiri, Shomotot, Dev Parbat, Pottikara and Kingdom of Orikel. And nobody knew where they are. They couldn't find it. Meanwhile, we can see the temple right in front of us. The temple we are approaching was excavated during 1984, and it contained continued for 6 months, not 4. Excavation was limited to the temple and 4 corners of the monastery. Works extended to the monastery area of the stupa and square structure in front of the temple. But this is the temple. Excavation was done on the enclosure of the temple, gateway of the monastery. In the beginning, of course. Then they shifted especially to the monastery in the beginning. 3 phases were discovered, in fact. Both the temple and monastery. The first phase was just the basic phase. The cruciform structure was found, the basic virgin soil. They said the virgin soil, from the top to the virgin soil, was 33 feet. So divided by 3 into 100 equals 1100. So we can calculate it approximately 1180 we can put the date. So now he is approaching the temple. We are inside the temple. From the eastern side, western side, we're going towards the eastern side through the ambulatory passage, and you can see the bricks, layers of bricks, one over the other. It's beautifully done. Towards the eastern side, you can see the arms of the enclosure walls. And on here, you can see the door and image chambers on the left. On the right, straight away, the doors. The door frames are built with ornamental bricks, and all sorts of things were found here, including plaques, terracotta plaques, and small fragments of images, small structures made of bronze. This is the place where they found all sorts of fragments of images, statues, also big ones, big statues. This place, pedestals were also used for the people to rest and use them as bed sometimes. Look at the walls. There are niches on the right and on the left. The keeping lamps, because there were not much of light or air, so they needed the lamps even in the daytime sometimes, because they are so closed, the walls. They were done so beautifully, you can easily understand. And through to the top, you can see the structures, stepped pyramid sort of structures, so beautiful. Just look at it, it's beautiful. They found one in Waribotishwar, upside down. Now we are going out. On the left is other structures, ambulatory passage, and far away you can see the enclosure walls. You can see the doors, the structures burnt. They're all burnt bricks. That's why they look so blackish. There were ways, the way they found how to manage the buildings, how to manage to put the structures. And look at that, another doorway, and another pedestals inside the platforms, small ones, and the same structures inside niches. There were roofs. You can see, you can understand. You get the feeling that there were roofs all over, but they were gone anyway. Image chambers here on the left, on the right, and the opening here for light and air. The structures, built structures were all there, and the bricks were all different sizes. One's 20 into 20 into 5 centimeter, the other for 25 into 23 into 6 centimeter. But later on they put the new ones to keep them straight, to keep them up. You can see the stupa from here, right in front of the monastery, and just on the downslope on the left. There were gateway chambers here through which people used to walk in. Restructured. It's not there anymore, the gateway complex, but you can feel there was something. And on the left, this is a big one, eastern side, and in front is the mandaps, they call it, and it looks just like the Paharpur temple. And this one is almost about 33 feet, as I said. Paharpur is about 60 to 70 feet. And mandaps were used most probably for the images and people to rest, things like that. And now we are approaching the stupa. The stupa is about 76 to 78 centimeter high. Round octagonal, you can say, surrounded by square structure. Octagonal form was used those days. in many complexes, surrounded by structures, square structures, not very high. Stupa most probably was used for image chambers or statues to put on or something like that. We in fact don't know. Or for maybe people to sit around and talk, or the cultural things like the Dharma, Nath Dharma, that's what we call it. The Guru Matshendranath and Gorakhhanath, his disciple, they were the beginners, they were the creators of this Dharma. As because of them, the structures on the left side is the square structure, most probably for some meeting or something. As I was saying, they were behind everything. All these ideas about people to come in, sit together, talk about Guru and Shishya, because this Dharma was about Guru and Shishya, master and disciple, and nothing else, no God. They didn't believe in gods. They believed in Guru and Shishya, the relation between master and disciple. That was their Dharma, and that's the reason why many people came. And it spread like wildfire to Pakistan, to India, to even to Afghanistan, all those areas. You will still find those Nath people all over the place. These, you can see these structures. There are cells. In all, 15 cells were built here. On the left, on the right, you can see the openings. They had pedestals, small platforms in all the cells. Some of the cells had 2 platforms, most probably for the studies, or most probably for the people sitting together, things like that. And the opening going straight towards the south side. This is the threshold of the ambulatory passage. And cells with openings. This one didn't have any pedestals, but on the left, this cell had a small pedestal. You can see the courtyard. There's a huge courtyard. People used to come and sit together and talk about their religion. And the cell with opening. There's another cell with openings too. All the cells. And right in front there are 3 more cells, 3 or 4. Not many of them had pedestals or platforms inside. This is the courtyard. They had a system through which they could keep the water out through some small structures from the courtyard out towards the slope, south side slope. The system was built then, the water system of how to get the water out from the courtyard or the puddles after the rain. Drainage system. They were built those days, really surprising. Drainage system during 1100 AD. The system really went through the walls out toward the slope, toward the south side. You can see the chambers, you can see, this one is abandoned. You can see this one number 14 or something out of 15 cells. And this was, you can see, abandoned for some reason. Now we are approaching the south side. And on the left, you can see the cells. Mind you, there were roofs on top of them too. South side they have built later in the second phase. They built 9 cells. 9 cells, but these cells were discontinued. God knows why. They were just abandoned, and you can feel it right there. On the right side also there were some cells. they were all abandoned. I mean, this side, the south side, from here, was abandoned in the second phase, by the end of 1180 or something. So we are heading back. You can see the opening of the cell. Imagine on top there were roofs, courtyard, they had everything. The structures are built like today's complexes, but they are so complex, really, the structures. You can't even think of building another one. On the steps you can see, these steps led to the roof. They found the roof on the cell number 14 in the temple, and here too, a small bit of roofs still remaining then. So as I was saying, today's standard, you can't even think of building another complex like this. Though of course we are building things, but they are nothing like this. They had wide, spread out, complex, so many things to do. Look at this one, the structure. Of course we don't know why they really built it, but you can imagine, must have been some importance was given. That's why they built it. Now right in front, you can see the temple. And here we go. Thanks everyone for listening.